Hi. Hello? Hey everybody. I'm back. I guess it hasn't been too long. And it wasn't an official break, but anyway. Hello. And yes, you read the title of this stream correctly. I got Scuba certified. Yeah. Wait. Oh yes, I want to add some background music here. Give me a second. Also, if I can talk into two things at once, I also am doing the proper streaming thing where I listen to myself as I talk. So hopefully that will make sure the audio is good. Hopefully. This one. Yep. And oh, that's a bit loud, I think. I actually don't know how loud it is. I can't hear that. Okay. Hello. Wait, can I hear that? Bam. Is that good? I'm gonna hope that's good. Okay. So yes, where should I begin? So let's see. I have my little drawing tools here. Can you see that? Yeah, you can. Okay. And I was just going to show you guys a little bit of what I did. Yes. Exploring the briny depths. Well, not briny and not very deep, but it still counts. So let's see. Well, we started off by. So I should explain why first. I took the course because I'm going on an upcoming vacation with some friends and family, and well, I guess just family, and and well, we're planning on going scuba diving, so I need to learn how, and Well, actually, it wasn't as if I didn't have any experience before. I mean, I had gone to a few camps in the past, and actually went scuba diving there. But this was actually me getting certified, so which means I can do it whenever I want now. So first things first, well, we had to pick out equipment, and that consists of, let's see, some goggles, right? That's, restart. And that's some goggles. Got a little nose piece there. And, I'm sorry. Oh, well, I'm having a hard time remembering what we had. I suppose there's fins, which, if you don't know, scuba fins have, so they're the big part in front, right? But it's also the part, it doesn't just go around your foot. In fact, there you wear a boot while scuba diving if you're wearing a wetsuit, and there's a strap in the back where you can adjust it. It's kind of like a croc, like Crocs, and you can pull it over and just slide it on top of your boot. So we had fins, 2 fins, and an oxygen tank, obviously. Oh. Doop, 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 doop. And so, I apologize for the art quality. I am drawing this with a mouse on MS Paint, so just bear with me, okay? So this is the oxygen tank, and guess what goes in here? I give you 3 guesses. The first 2 don't count. But yes, as you may have guessed, it holds oxygen. Yes. And well, here's the little nozzle that you open to get it to go out. There's a little port here. That's where it comes out. So you turn this, and the oxygen comes out here. And then this part is just a place to hold, I believe. That's probably not true, but that's how I used it. And, oh, in that part, you have, okay, this is going to be difficult. You have your wetsuit. If you're going diving in a cold place. Well, colder. Not tropical, basically. Looks more like a 4-fingered hand than a wetsuit. Anyway, you have your wetsuit, which keeps you nice and relatively warm in colder places. Basically acts like a second skin. And also something I learned, they are uncomfortably tight. Yeah, it turns out you really want to have the size correct on that. Because one size certainly does not fit all. Yes. But you have your wetsuit, which keeps you a bit warm. There's also things called dry suits, which, with the wetsuit, it acts like a second skin, kind of like a blubber on a whale, if you will. But the dry suit, rather, doesn't allow water in. It's fully pressurized. So it keeps the water out, and there's actually a pocket of air that goes around your body. There's a little regulator thing here, with a little tube attached to where your oxygen tank would be. And that, you press on this, and you can either, I mean, we didn't use those, so, but one of my dive instructors did, and you can press on this, and it just lets air flow in and out as needed. And if you come out of the water with a full dry suit on, with full of air, you look really puffy, kind of like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, which I thought was funny. I didn't get to see it though, which I was disappointed about. I was told later that my instructor came out looking like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I was like, oh man, I missed that. But you have your wetsuit, and of course, perhaps the most important part. Hold on, make sure you guys can see. And perhaps the most important part is your buoyancy compensator, which is going to end up looking a bit like a hot dog bun here. Let's see if we can. Yeah. There we go. That's a bit better. So your buoyancy compensator, I guess I should wait. So your buoyancy compensator is comprised of several parts. Oh, I suppose I should include the regulators as well. Anyway, the the buoyancy compensator has a tube that goes along your left side, and on there, there's usually there's a red button and a gray button. The red button inflates the buoyancy compensator, and the gray button deflates it. Usually, you want to hold the tube above your head when you're deflating, so the air can, whoosh, flow out. Air flows out. That's dumb. But yes, you want to hold your buoyancy compensator above your head, and when you deflate it, and the air flows out. So I believe we learned a bit about this. We'll go off a bit of a tangent. And in scuba diving, right? In scuba diving, there's this thing called Boyle's Law. Here we go. Wait. Nope. Boyle's Law. And Boyle's Law states that as the pressure on a gas in a flexible container increases, then its volume will decrease. So that's why a balloon would shrink as it goes underwater, because the water pressure around it is increasing. So as you go down in scuba diving, you want to keep adding a bit more air to your buoyancy compensator relative to where you would be at the surface, and it'll keep you descending at a slow rate, because you don't want to descend too fast or else you hurt your ears. Yes, that's Boyle's Law. And let's see. Oh, we also had the regulator, of course. Let's see if I can. Doesn't. Bit more like a mouthpiece. I suppose that's good. And circle and a tube. Yes. Here we go. That's close enough. Anyway, so your regulator, you have two of them. You have your secondary and your primary regulator, I believe. We have a spare regulator. And the spare regulator, we learned this during our dive training, is, for your buddy when they're out of air. You can always give them some air. If they have like a critical failure, you can give some of your air to your buddy. And then you make your ascent together. Because, sharing air wouldn't last too long. So you have your regulator, and the regulator takes oxygen from the tank, obviously, and it goes down. And the cool thing about the regulator is that it delivers air at the correct ambient pressure to your lungs. Because if it delivered air, at surface pressure to your lungs while you, were at depth, and your body is compressed and your lungs are smaller, then your lungs would explode. Your lungs. I don't know why I'm laughing at that. It's not a real problem, because it's what the regulator does, and it's not like a primary thing that happens during scuba diving. But your lungs would explode. Anyway, but yes, that does help keep you alive quite well. I don't know, I'm trying to fix that. Anyway, so that's your basic equipment. And again, so you want to fit your buoyancy compensator, this thing, onto your tank. And there's a little strap on the back because it fits like a backpack. And it straps around that. And we'll fill that in. Boop. We'll fill that in and straps on just like a backpack would, kind of. And then you just put this on like a backpack on top of your wetsuit. And you get in the water, you get your fins on, you get your mask on, and you are ready to go. But not without some training, which is what we're going to next here. Do a bit of magic here. Hold on. Whoppa. Oh. 1 second. Now whoppa. There we go. Wait. There we go. So now here we'll do a header for this one. Oh, that's still in white. And dive training. Boop. So now for dive training, what we did, hold on. Just making sure. There we go. Just making sure you guys can see that. Okay. So for dive training, we started out not in the open water, but in a pool. So here I'll add this pool. And so you start off in the pool, you get all your equipment on, like we discussed earlier, and then you learn some basic skills. So the first basic skill you learn is, let's see. I probably should know this better. Actually, no. Here we go. I know the first basic skill. The first basic skill we learn is clearing your mask. Here, I'll be very decadent with the headers today. Clearing your mask. Okay. So, clearing your mask. So you have your mask, like so. Not your sunglasses, but your diving mask. Although if your diving mask looks like sunglasses, I'm very jealous because most dive masks looks kind of stupid, I'll be honest. Although, hey, there was, okay, so I wasn't alone when doing the training, right? There was this, a few other people with me, and we got to choose from a limited, supply of like, test masks or trial masks, right? And I tried on one that was kind of black in color, and it fit really well. It was the most comfortable, so I wanted that one. But before I could like get my hands on it and say I wanted that one, the guy who was in our class, he just up and said, "Yeah, I'll have that one," and the instructor gave it to him. Now I didn't say anything because I didn't want to be rude, but like, it was fine though, because the mask I got was fine. Here, and it was blue, or more of a darker blue. I don't want to spend too much time on the color of the blue, but yeah, it's more like that blue. Okay. So I had my blue mask. Oh. And my blue mask. Here, I'll do some fringes around there, just for accuracy. Nah, maybe not. But we had our blue mask, and or I had my blue mask rather. And the first basic skill you learn in scuba diving is how to clear. Hey, that's pretty good. The first basic skill you learn in scuba diving is how to clear your mask. Because, if you have hair, water can get in the mask at times, right? Or if you just, need to sneeze underwater. I mentioned that specifically because there was, my brother was doing it. Yes, I have a brother. My brother was doing the training with me, and he mentioned afterward that he had to sneeze underwater. And he just took off his mask and did it, which is hilarious to me. 'Cause I didn't even notice. But yes, he had to, you know, just sneeze underwater, which, again, I thought was impressive. But, so you get water in your mask, you know, after you sneeze underwater. And what you want to do is you want to lift up, you're going to put pressure on the top, see? You're going to press your hands right there, and that lifts up the bottom a little bit. And from there, you can just, like, blow your nose, again, not sneezing, but blow your nose, underwater, and that clear out the water from your mask. Because it fills this pocket with more air. Fill this pocket with more air. I said that correctly. And so that's how you clear your mask. And similarly, if you were to lose your mask entirely, you just put it back on and then push up a little bit and clear it out. Which was the next skill we learned, actually. So our dive instructor had us take off our mask entirely and we had to put it back on and then clear it. Which, again, was, I'm told, supposed to be difficult, but that's pretty easy. So yes, now, what else do we learn? I probably should take more mental notes of this, because, you know, I want to talk to you guys about it. Let's see. What else do we do? I suppose I can talk about maintaining buoyancy. Okay, so... Oh yes, perhaps some of you are wondering, was the water cold? Not in the pool, no. But in the actual... place we went diving, for training purposes, yes, it was very cold. We went somewhere that was not a pool. Let's just say that. And see, is that? Oh dear. Hold on. Maintaining buoyancy. Buoyancy. Oh no. Yep. There we go. I think. Okay, so maintaining buoyancy. For that, you are expected to be able to float in the water. That's not a great fin. You want to be able to float in the water. I'm going to give myself giant duck feet for this. You know. So that, oh my, looks like my leg is breaking. Hold on. Yeah. So you have your equipment on. Yeah. You also have a head, too, that's important. And you just want to maintain your place in the water. Actually, you don't just float, because you'll just float because your lungs are expanding and contracting as you breathe, right? So, you know, breathe in, you float up a little bit, and breathe out, you float down a little bit. But ideally, you should maintain a neutral buoyancy, was the term. So you can just bob up and down a little bit in the water. It's actually harder than it looks because, you know, you have to inflate your buoyancy compensator, your BC, just enough to get it just right to compensate for your weight. Also, I should mention this earlier, you have little weights in your BC. Oh. You have little, typically metal weights. I was told in the olden days, they used actual belts around people who are diving. I can't resize this. They used actual belts on people who were diving, but nowadays they just put the weights inside the BC. So you have your weights inside until keep you, actually sinking because you're wearing it. Well, you're pretty buoyant on your own, but it helps to maintain neutral buoyancy. And so once you get to that point, you can just kind of fly through the water. Oh, it's still gray. You can just kind of fly through the water. And let's see. I think I'm gonna go a bit out of order here, but probably one of the cooler skills we learned was how to breathe out of a broken regulator. So, bada bing. Broken reg breathing. Breathing. And so for that, if you're in a worst case scenario underwater and your regulator breaks, a good thing to know is how to be able to breathe when there's just air spilling out of your regulator. So you have your regulator. Oh, well, that's close enough. And it's like this. Off into space. And so your regulator, say, malfunctions and just starts spewing air everywhere. So what you want to do is you want to put it in the side of your mouth. See if I can draw a mouth like so. And you have your regulator you have your regulator here, and you want to just kind of put it half in your mouth. So one side's out and the other side's inside. And so from there it just starts, I don't know why I draw this part, it's a large face now, but from there it just starts gushing air, and so it's like I'll take my award for the sound effects later. But it just starts gushing air, and so actually what you can do is if you put it half in your mouth like this, you can actually breathe through that. And hopefully you have enough air left to make it all the way to the surface. So yes, like... Here, let me make my pen a little bigger. It's like I don't want to do a roaring sound effect because that'd just be embarrassing. But yes, you can still breathe like this if you put it like that. So that was one of the more interesting skills we learned. What else? Oh, we also learned how to share air with a buddy. So let's see here. Oh, 1 second. Right, okay. And we also learned how to share air with a buddy. So you and your buddy. Oh. You and your buddy. Oh. You and your buddy, who are not, just this. You are not. Yeah. You and your buddy are underwater, and your buddy runs out of air. So what do? I'll tell you what you do. You get your spare regulator, and, which mine was yellow. Oh, mine was yellow. That just draws a circle. Boom, okay. And so, you give it... Actually, no. Oh, no. My instructor will be disappointed with me. Instead, you give your buddy, actually, your primary regulator as such. Like so. So you give them your air, and they breathe out of that. And wait, hold on. Da, da, da. Can't go scuba diving without goggles. I mean, I suppose you could, but why would you? Because your eyes would sting. Although I'll share a story about that in a second. So then you have your secondary regulator, and you breathe out of that. Like so. It's basically, I was told to basically just hold it by the tube, the regulator you're giving to your buddy, and just basically shove it in their face. And it's like, here, take it, take the air. Live, dang it. Because you want to be forceful about it, and you want to hold it so that, you know, the actual mouthpiece is facing towards them. You know, oh. You know, inside. Get in there. So, you can share air with your buddy, and I'm trying to think of anything I missed. Talk about clearing masks, talk about maintaining neutral buoyancy. So I can mention that you're supposed to keep a steady breathing underwater, so you don't run out of air or panic. And we talked about sharing air with a buddy. We talked about how to breathe through a broken regulator. Oh, yes. perhaps the most fun part of training the pool was the very end. So my instructor is sitting. Well, I guess that okay. So pool, right? So just kind of as a, well, I shouldn't spoil it. I shouldn't spoil it. So my instructor is standing over here, right? And I'm standing next to him. And yep. He had a very wide head. Yes, because all the knowledge. Anyway, and I was also there. Goodness. And as a final lesson, my instructor's like, okay, here, hand me your mask. He himself was wearing a mask. And he's like, hand me your mask. And I'm like, okay. And I saw where this was going immediately. Because he just up and... Wait, oh, come on. It's gonna go for comedic effect. Okay. He just up and chucks it across the pool. Which is a pretty large pool, because it was like a public pool. And he chucks it across the pool. And it, you know... Just water in the pool, because we're about... we're in the pretty deep end. You know, we were diving... in the deep end because we were doing our dive skills, but now we're kind of in the, you know, neck deep area, and he says go get it, and it goes pretty much all the way to the shallows, right? And so the mask is over there now, and he's just like, go get it. Is that a good? Hold on, I can do better. So the mask is over here now. And he's like, go get it. And so I have to swim, eyes open, with, you know, giant fins on. I probably should mention that too. Giant duck fins on, which at the time I was not used to operating. So I had to swim pretty much across the pool, eyes wide open, in pool water, which kind of stung at first, but you get used to it actually. I had to hold my eyes open, and I swam probably some 40 some odd feet just to get my mask and then put it on, clear my mask underwater, and then come up. I had my tank on at the time, so, you know, I could breathe, because otherwise it'd been cruel. But it is funny to think about again, because I was like trying to see. I probably looked insane underwater with my eyes wide open trying to see my mask. It was just this blue blur. It looked like, hold on, I can visualize this for you guys. it looked like, so there's water all around, right? Here. Water all around. So there's water all around. This is the water. And right somewhere in the distance among the water, there's this tiny like blur. Like that. But, you know, 30 feet away. So this is, you know, POV. Hold on. I'm just having fun at this point. POV. You. Instructor tells you, go get your mask. You. This is all you see. And so this is the mask, and I had to go, you know, swim 30 some odd feet to go get that, and then put it on underwater, clear it, and then we were done for the training for today. No, the instructor was a good guy. I should mention that too. He wasn't, you know, just being rude. No, he was, you know, technically part of the training. I think. I hope. No, he's a good guy though. So, I had to go get my mask from all the way over there. And training was done for today. So then we moved on to... Probably gonna just... Hold on. Clear this the effective way. Yep, there we go. And... Bam. So... Oh. There we go. Dive. Training. And... Open water. So we weren't in the ocean yet, but we were in a certain lake nearby, relatively nearby. And from there, I guess we pretty much went over the skills we learned in the pool, but in, of course, open water. And I have to say that was a little painful going down at first, because the water pressure in your ears is a lot higher. Because we were about 30 to 35 feet down at the bottom of the lake. Well, and I guess, it was at the bottom of where we were in the lake. I don't know why I'm making that distinction. But that was pretty hard because my ears were actually kind of hurting at first, which doesn't usually happen. I'm usually very good about being able to equalize pressure because, I like to swim. But, yeah, I kind of freaked out a little bit because I was worried my ears were gonna, I knew a guy once that, ruptured his eardrum, I think, jumping in a pool, so I was, I did not want to do that. But, luckily for me, I still have both my eardrums, and everything went fine. So, as I kept my eardrums and descended into the murky depths, there was, let's see, a platform, which for simplicity's sake we'll keep gray. There's a platform down there, and all of us in the dive group were down there on top of this platform. So we're sitting down there. We're more kneeling on this platform. Yep. With our oxygen, that's more of a backpack, hold on. Yeah. I suppose as long as you can get the spirit of it, it's fine. So down there with our oxygen. And what do we do? I guess we, again, mainly rehash the skills from the other day. But it was very cool because I will tell you, let's see. Oh, I didn't even talk about. Okay, so this is probably an opportune time to talk about. So there was a skill we learned where, say, your regulator, your breathing tube, gets completely knocked out of your mouth and out of your hands. So an easy way to do that, to get it back, because you don't want to, die, presumably. Let's see. Da-da. So that's you. You're swimming along, and your breathing gets knocked out. So what you want to do is, very long torso. What you want to do is you want to roll to the side your regulator's on, presumably your right side. And then you take your arm, you reach out, and just kind of run it along the side of your body, going upwards like this. And you should be able to catch the tube and find your regulator and put it back into your mouth. And then you're all good. Oh, of course. Probably should talk about hand signals as well. So, hand signals. We learned, let's see. I'm okay with drawing hands, I think. It's just more MS Paint I'm worried about. So we learned that thumbs up is in fact not, not good, but it means go up. So this is up. And again, I'll give you a guess as to what down is. Yeah. That's a hand for those of you who can't tell. Although I wouldn't blame you if you can't tell. Oh boy. Okay. Such was down. And probably another one was... Wait, I gotta look at my own hands for this. I'm going to simplify this because I think drawing... No, I can... No. Can I? It's probably gonna turn out looking like witch fingers. That's not so bad. So, your okay is like that. And okay, so okay. Because thumbs up means go up. That's your okay, and let's see if I can. Here, this is gonna be a bit of a challenge here. Like everything else wasn't challenging enough. This is your hand, and your thumb is out to the side this time because your hand is flat. And this little arrows here show movement. If you shake your hand back and forth flat like this, it means something is wrong. So you can shake your hand like that, something's wrong, and then you can point to your ear, if you say something's wrong with your ears, like your ears are hurting, something's wrong with your sinuses, that's also something that can happen. Or just something's wrong. And then, oh, yes. So the signals are a bit different on top of the water. So on top of the water, you're here with your buddy, and you're a little far away and you can't talk. So what you want to do is you want to put one hand on top of your head, like so. And that also means okay. So you can put one or both hands on top of your head. Not oak. Okay. Wait, oak and okay are spelled the same. Huh. Oak and okay are spelled the same way. And everyone just is like, oh, yeah, yes, in fact they are. And this is... Wait, hold on. I gotta draw it first. So, this is supposed to be you rapidly, waving your arm to your buddy, and that is, in fact, not high, but distress, or something is wrong. So that's, yeah, so you gotta be careful not to, be too friendly when scuba diving. Otherwise, someone might think you're hurt. So those are some of the hand signals you learned. I probably should talk about that first. It's okay. So we learned the hand signals while diving. So there's that. And so we're currently, if I can get back to the main thing, currently under the lake, pretty far down. This is not to scale. I should mention that. Not to scale. There we go. Just in case anyone was confused, So we're at the bottom of the lake. And, we went over the skills and signals we learned in the pool, mainly. But there were some fish, indeed. There indeed were some fish there. And I'm not good with fish, so I don't know any of the names of the fish that were there. But there were some fish. And I was actually surprised because they got pretty darn close to us. Oh. There we go. Fishing. Fish friend. They got pretty darn close to us, actually. Like, I was just going about scuba diving, just kind of going back around the platform, and all of a sudden, just a fish swam right in front of my face. Which, it's like if a bird flew in front of your face. It's like, it's surprising. You know they're there, but you don't expect them to be right in front of your face. I suppose you have to see it to explain. But yes, a fish jump scared me underwater. Not jump scared because it was like, wow, a fish. But yes, jump scared me. And I was told that because there was like a shelf that, what's a good rock color? Well, it's more like kind of a sandy rock color, so it was more like so. So there was like a shelf that went up pretty close to where we were, and I was told that within the rocks there was a catfish. Now I never saw the catfish because I was probably up around here at the time, I was probably around there at the time, but I was told there was a catfish. Like a big catfish. And one of my instructors said that he often goes there to this lake to catfish noodle at times. Which, if I remember correctly, just means that you try to fish for catfish with your bare hand. Which, okay. Actually, that does kind of sound cool. I'd like to do that. So there was the pretty big catfish down in the rocks next to the shelf where I didn't see it. Here, we'll give him some eyes and a nice catfish mouth, and we'll give him some whiskers as well. Yes, that's a catfish. fin for our catfish friend. That looks oddly enough horrifying. See, yes, that's a catfish. I will also label that as well. Not catfish. Maybe. Wait. I want to make that. There we go. Might be a catfish. There's no way of telling what that is. So that was a catfish, possibly. And what else? Well, no, it was just, I suppose that's about it. It was really cool, getting this actually, eventually, when we, finished all our skills, we, got to dive back all the way to shore. So, what did that look like? That looked like a bit like this. And I say a bit because goodness knows that this is not the best depiction. And catfish is gonna nibble our toes, as catfish do. And he was quite cool because I actually, you can, well, I don't know if you're supposed to do this, I probably should know, but I just breathed in a little deeper and actually rose up and was able to make it over this kind of embankment here and get over to, over here where there was a bunch of nice seaweed. And again, it wasn't a beach, but it was more of a lake. But yes. So there we go. Perfect. Beautiful. Okay, so what else? Oh. We also learned how to, here. Time to clear all this out. Oh. There we go. Also learned how to inflate a emergency buoy, which was orange. And here, I'll do this. So it was like this, but originally it was all furled up like this. If you can tell the difference between the two pictures. So it was all furled up like this. And there's a little metal tube sticking out of it. What you had to do is either one of two ways. The first, much easier way was just to hook your buoyancy compensator, take it off of your, well, you get a tube leading from your oxygen tank to your buoyancy compensator, and you can unhook that from, you know, your buoyancy thing, and plug it into the buoy, and it would inflate. And there was a big signal on it. I forget what it said, but it was just like, you know, diver here, please help. Like that. And so you'd inflate your buoy. The second, much more difficult way, which is actually the way we learned first, you know, so we could appreciate the easier way, arrow, was to, you know, much like a beach ball, inflate it manually. And by inflate it manually, I mean, you know, just put your mouth right on that thing and inflate. Sorry, stretch. So yes, we learned how to blow up a emergency buoy, both with our buoyancy compensator and with our mouth, in case our, you know, we were completely out of air. Which, you know, is a useful skill. You may laugh, but that was a very useful skill to learn. So, after that, I can also mention that we learned how to come up in an emergency, which just basically meant that we were, you know, it went about 15 feet below the surface, and, you know, on one breath, you know, breathing out the entire time, we had to go all the way to the surface. Oh, we also learned how to take off our buoyancy compensator in an emergency. A lot of, again, this course was, you know, mainly about, you know, being prepared to scuba dive, which just basically means that you are prepared to die. No. But prepared to, you know, respond to an emergency situation. But yeah, I think that was everything I wanted to talk about. And that was pretty much everything in the course. Okay. Can I mention this? Okay. So, at the bottom of the lake, there was quite a lot of random stuff, you may guess. As you may guess, there was a lot of random stuff at the bottom of the lake. And on the bottom of the lake, in a certain place, there was something you probably wouldn't expect. At least I wouldn't. But, you know, that's just me. There was, and I'm going to draw this first, I'm going to Pictionary this because I want the reveal to be funny. Yeah. Can you guess yet? I suppose not the best, not the best drawing. Okay, if you can't tell already, there was just a random toilet at the bottom of the lake, and my instructor and I had a pretty funny conversation about it, because, you know, we're talking about with the group, because we all saw it, and it's just like my instructor and I at the exact same time were both like, well, I mean, when you gotta go, you gotta go. Hey, it was funny at the time, okay? You just see a random, okay, because they'd been there for, you know, hundreds of dives. It was my first time being there, and you just see a random toilet, and for both of us to go pretty much the exact same time. Well, when you gotta go, you gotta go. I'm not even gonna talk about, like, in a certain situation, if you needed to pee in your wetsuit. Let's not talk about that here. But yes, there was a random toilet at the bottom of the lake. As such. Hold on. Gotta properly label this. I'm sorry, just this image. Toilet. Not the scale. Okay. So yes, we had our lake toilet. In case of emergencies, obviously. In case of emergencies. And honestly, besides I suppose I suppose I can talk about this as well, because I just want to make sure that I get it all out today. So the pathway to the beach was pretty steep. So the beach was here. This is the beach. This was the beach, and there were some pretty jagged rocks on the way down to the beach. Basically, this was all rocks. And so just one of the parts of our training was to make sure that we avoided the quote-unquote ankle breakers. So nicknamed by me. Yours truly. But yeah, it was also funny as well, because, you know, we'd been in the water for so long, our legs were pretty much exhausted, the group. And so when we emerged, from the shore, it just looked like, to me at least, looked like a bunch of zombies who couldn't walk right because of the fins. Just like, looks like clown shoes. Hold on. Looked like a bunch of zombies dragging their way up on the shore. Alternatively, like Navy SEALs, but I think that's being a bit too cool, giving us a bit too much credit. Wait, no, he's gotta be more hunched. He's carrying a lot of weight. Oh, nah. So you're just kind of, your legs are kind of tired because you've been, you know, kicking for your main propulsion for so long, and you're trying to stand up straight, and you got this big, heavy air tank on your back, which again is a lot heavier now that you're not weightless in the water. So you're basically just trying to stand upright or maintain balance as you lug your way onto land. So it looks like, I mean, if you pull it off, I mean, I guess you can look like a Navy SEAL, but to me it just felt like a zombie or drowned from Minecraft, just lugging their way onto shore like, But okay. I mean, that was pretty much it. I suppose I also struggled to get my fins on the water, but that was kind of not funny unless you could see it. If you can imagine, it was just me fumbling around with my fins, which, I mean, it wasn't that funny, but it was kind of funny to me. Just basically going almost upside down, trying to get a dang fin on in the shallow water. It was... he had to be there, but it was funny. But I think... how much time do we have left? Fortunately, I can't be here for too long. I think that's okay for today. I can't... can I play Iron Lung? You know what? We'll save that for another stream. Wait, how long is Iron Lung typically? Wait. How long is Iron Lung game? Hour and 6 minutes, this says. But I'm probably gonna not beat it the first time. Oh. Sincerely hope. Okay, audio output was okay. Whoops. Sorry, that was just very loud. Oh, sorry, I was never mind. Whew, that was loud. Okay. Okay, but I think I'll save that for... I can't do it tomorrow, but day after, for sure. Probably. As soon as possible. Okay, thank you all so much for coming to kind of a new thing today. It's just kind of the first time I was just talking to myself, really. But I appreciate you all for listening in, and I hope you had a bit of fun learning about my experience diving. And, oh yes, I should mention this as well. This was all kind of in preparation for a vacation I'll be taking with some family next week. Yeah. So that's why I learned how to dive, and I'll have even more fun stories, I'm sure, to share after that, because, well, probably a bit more fun stuff to see, besides, you know, like toilet. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you again very soon. Thank you for tuning in. Bye, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. I did. I had fun. I had fun just talking about this. I hope you did too. Okay, bye. 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 Okay, bye. I don't know why I did that. Every time, I don't know why I can't just say, okay, bye, everybody, and then just end the stream like this.